what's up? Welcome to another edition of XV. Thank you so much for coming on through. Apologies for not doing the stream yesterday, but if this is your first time tuning in, what's up? My name's The Schiller, and try to bring you some entertainment value from looking at your NFT timeline. So if you've not got the time of day to go and scroll through all the shenanigans that there are, would love for you to tune in daily, Monday through Friday, again, except for yesterday and any other day that we might miss in the future. But yeah, so we're going to go over some security tips as per usual, going over collections that have gotten some wicked high sales over the last little bit, talk a little bit about the Futureverse Altered State Machine collaboration merger for their Altered State side with another, kind of a little bit of a debacle from that yesterday, coming down to some calm issues potentially. But yeah, one of the token charts got ripped like 50% because I think the messaging was unclear. People aren't certain, and it kind of goes back to what we've talked about before of having your own conviction, not listening to what anybody else says. Obviously, take everything in for thought purposes, but again, have your viewpoints, realize that this is a super long game for the most part, and pivots end up happening. But with that said, let's get into it. Okay, if this hits your inbox, first thing you say is, yeah, why the hell is the blockchain emailing me? Just a friendly reminder, if you have any kind of emails about anything you are not familiar with, even if so, if you have a Coinbase account, if you have your favorite exchange, and for whatever, they end up emailing you saying, hey, we have this offer, guys, just throw it out there. Just throw it out there in the trash. Doesn't need to be opened. Except for maybe if you need to look at it. I don't think actually opening an email does anything unless you download it, but realize that the scams are going to get more and more just because the market's starting to pick up. A little confused, to be honest. I have no idea what the hell is going on. I thought Artifact was closing up shop, and then they posted a photo the other day of like a shoe of some sort or some fabric. Like, what are we doing? Is Artifact done or is it not done? Are they back? Okay, so we've talked about Guild of Guardians for a little bit. This is like a 2-minute video. We're not going to play the entire thing, but just for the purpose of you seeing some other Web3 games, this was something that I was really heavily allocated to. But then, as I've mentioned, I was like, I don't really know if I like the direction of things. It seems a little bit off. And I got out of it. Now, Stately Wayne Manor, I think that man's an absolute massive GOG whale. And Pitch Dark, what's going on? When the hell are we playing Rivals? So let's just watch a quick video. This is kind of a how to play the game. But again, this looks completely different than when the game first came out.
Talk about a pretty fun game to play called Guild of Guardians. In this video, I'm going to give my first impressions about the game and how to tap into the Web3 elements so you can actually play and earn. Guild of Guardians is a mobile RPG available on iOS and Android. It has a really smooth tutorial that gets you playing immediately and gradually teaches you all the key mechanics. If you're curious about the Web3 side of things, you can sign up with Immutable Passport to enable
Buffalo,
NFT trading and
hell
other
yeah.
blockchain features, but it's totally optional. So if you just want a straightforward mobile RPG, you can play it that way too. The first important tip I can give you is this. Experienced scrolls are your best friend. You only get a small amount of XP from regular battles, but you'll gather a bunch of scrolls from fighting and, even more importantly, from crafting. Let's talk about adventure mode first. You'll pick a dungeon, set up your formation, 2 heroes up front, 2 in the back, and then head into battle. The fights are auto battles, but you can speed them up and choose when to trigger special moves. Once you finish a stage, you'll often encounter a camp or merchant.
One thing that I've noticed is like the majority of the crypto games have started with like these grand massive visions, right? When we go back to most of the stuff from 2021 of, hey, we're doing a big MMO, hey, we're building out this massive scale of some sort, and almost all of them have turned into kind of like an autoplay, very minimal actual gameplay for the majority of them. Why is that the case? Why do we think? But again, Buffalo, I didn't even know that you were playing Guild of Guardians every single day. Why are we not posting about this daily? Guys, show the stuff you like on your timeline. I'm watching. I'm always watching. Okay, Saigar saying Abstract won't be just the home for NFTs. It'll also be the home for crypto gaming. Our gaming ecosystem is absolutely insane. Cannot wait to start showcasing some of the games that are being built on Abstract. So this goes back to the question of, well, every single chain has kind of touted, oh, like we have the best coming, right? From Avalanche to IMX to Ronin, we all go down this list. We all say the same kind of verbiage. And I'm curious, is this time actually going to be different? You know, we're all about cliches here in the crypto land, and the sentiment's really awesome, but Are these announcements, are these games going to have extra users? It does feel like the abstract community as a whole has a very, very large positive sentiment around there, which I think a lot of chains kind of have some him and han, but it seems that everybody's really, really excited about abstract. Now, is that because they did the frame airdrop before and they don't hold any pudgy penguins because those things are really expensive, and there was the abstract, but then also the Pengu claim that happened, and so that sentiment, everybody kind of likes what's going on there? I'm not exactly sure, because no one cares about Twitter, sir. I think a lot of people care about Twitter, to be totally honest. Now, what I thought was kind of funny, though, is I posted this clip, and I'll just do it now. I'm going to have to erase it from later, but Luke and Nets just said the #1 streamer on abstract will make millions of dollars. So let's play this clip right quick. So you don't really get what he's getting at.
To make streamers filthy fucking rich on abstract. Now, mind you, you can
Sorry, I didn't realize I was swearing on that. Apologies if you have kids around there. I F-grade me.
make content like you're doing now, right? Like the way it's structured, it's really just there's a streaming platform element to it. You can stream, interviews like this. I'm gonna whitelist it, so it's not like anyone and their mom can stream. Like I probably think only 1,000 people I'll be able to whitelist over the course of the next couple of months.
How are you gonna make us rich? What are we talking here?
I think the #1 streamer on the platform in a couple of months is going to make millions and millions of dollars.
No.
Now, what's interesting about this is people actually believe him, where there's a lot of stuff and founders out there that say certain things, but because of certain track records, whatever, it's not as believable. Where this, I'm like, oh my God, do we go out and get involved with abstract? And so I posted that, guys. I had 2 likes on this. One was an AI bot and one was an actual bot. So none of my followers give a shebang about abstract. Apparently, that's the case. And for the one bot, they made this meme. Listen, the AI agents are going to take over because humans don't care about this stuff or care about me. True. But it says stick to one platform and build, pivot to where non-engagement is higher. True. Better hop on that whitelist. See, that's the thing though, is I haven't really covered abstract. And the question is for anybody that has been on X, except for Pitch W, is the Gen girl, right? If you remember her, she was the blast face of content overall, did everything around there. And I don't see her as much on the timeline. Now, is that because Blast isn't as popular? Is that because she's not doing content? I have absolutely no idea, but I remember waking up every single day and seeing her on my timeline all the friggin' time. So we're seeing people commit to different networks, and it'll be interesting to see how that happens overall. Because no one gives an F about Twitter. Nah, listen, Pitch, you gotta get on there, my guy. Listen, there's a lot of people. Listen, I could go on that homepage and go through 605 tweets in a minute. The entire stream is all these things that people care about Twitter, and Pitch is over here just hating. He's the pitchforks, like in Shrek when they try to kill him. Drew, and you have more than a bot. Drew. Okay, so back to where the one individual was talking about abstract being the gaming chain. Okay. And then so we go over here and this person's saying, and it's not even close, Topia token will overtake every other crypto gaming project and reach $1 this year, $3 to $5 easily possible. Okay, I like that people are bullish out here, guys. I like it, but why do we just use this stupid verbiage that just is completely inaccurate? Holding plenty of Topia Genesis avatars, Gray Boy, and all I need now is a world, and I'm set. But this is a collection that also pivoted from before, from what originally they were doing. But they're still kicking around. But I'm just guys, every time we see this, it's going to overtake every other gaming project. I don't know. Now, in the bold case of abstract, I keep seeing this every day. Well, people are shilling that the Pengu is showing up in different videos. So if you've ever seen the Costco guys that are we bring the boom. Do we give it a boom or doom? A Pitch gives X a doom, but I give it 5 big boom. So anyway, I guess they were doing some kind of live show, and the Pengu character was there in the background. So people are out there highlighting that. Okay, so getting into some other just kind of random things that I still think are going to have massive implications to whatever, and maybe the world to rich. But this lady, Tammy Chin, had Red Wings season tickets for $4,700, and I guess they redid her area of where she sat, and now the tickets are going up to $18,000. So you're telling me that I have the option of spending $18,000 to watch a hockey team that may or may not be good or bad, or just not spend $18,000 and put it into crypto and stay at home? I mean, listen, I don't know about you, but I'm probably taking option number 2. True. Okay, so the fires in California are awful. And I've seen a lot of posts and takes on the timeline, but this one was kind of interesting. And let me just read it real quick. So, can Bitcoin, AI, or DPIN fix the wildfire crisis in Los Angeles? And obviously, first of all, you're probably like, okay, well, no, that doesn't help put out the fires, etc. But let's continue. Tech can definitely help. AI can predict fire spread, DPIN can incentivize local sensor networks, and crypto could fund prevention. All fair points. But at the end of the day, we still need real-world solutions to control burns, improve land management, and fast emergency response. But the point being is, like, we look at crypto, and I think that there's still this perspective from a lot of people of, oh my god, you know, it's just like a way to like invest or put money into, but there is things that are like actually advancing what's going on. And we've seen this kind of shift where the verbiage around all of this is now focusing on the internet, right? And so instead of just talking about, oh, it's crypto, it's, oh, we're revolutionizing the internet and changing the way that we do things online. And I very much agree to. And so a part of kind of all this news that's coming out, obviously you guys have probably seen the insurance thing where like there was this interviewer, right? And they were like, my parents have been in this house for 75 years and they've had the same insurance, and these insurance people decided to cancel their fire insurance. We're going through this and it just happened they don't have fire insurance. So again, awful situations. And people are bringing up that, you know, like these companies are there to make money, not actually help people. And it's like, okay, that's fair, which that AI bot from before says, this is why we need trustless protocols, not profit-driven middlemen code that people can't get greedy for. And I remember like the first year or two that I was in crypto, I was so big on the insurance game and the decentralized insurance, because we've seen so many things just seemingly be awful around that entire industry where you need that like trustless protocol and something that's not, you know, based off a single company. And I'm just saying, once people see these things, they're going to realize and they're going to want to get involved with it. Bus is saying, my 2025 prediction, the top 10 NFT projects on Solana will have a higher combined market cap than the top 10 NFT projects on any other chain. So we're saying that the top 10 Solana NFTs will have a higher combined market cap than the top 10 NFTs on any other chain. So we talk about like Bitcoin and the ordinals. Okay. That one's kind of depends on the sentiment, right? For Ethereum, usually kind of leads the way. Solana, I feel like sometimes it's got attention, but it's not, there's only like a very few subset of collections where I feel like if this was going to be accurate, it would need like the top 2 projects on Solana to be vastly ahead. But we've seen so much on the timeline of people saying what's going on with Solana, it's going to be big. And I think all this stuff is going to be big, but it's also, I think it's going to be multi-chain future. So how big on an individual chain versus just having stuff on these different chains? I mean, I don't really know. We need more bridge mutual now. Well, dude, so it's called like DIA now, like trying to go off of like decentralized insurance, but like that Discord, if you want a link for it, people that are still holding that, holy moly, they're like, what are we doing, baby? But apparently they're coming back. Yo, GB Australia, how are you? What's going on? So, you know, with this, I thought, okay, let's go and look at what the top 10 collections of these different chains are. And of course, we can only look at that in Magic Eden because it's one of the only platforms that does it. And then when I went to go look at the Bitcoin NFTs, I realized, guys, they don't price any of this stuff in US dollars. They just have Bitcoin. So let's go back. Let's see what we have. All right, cool. Hold on. These are all different Bitcoin ones. I want to jump over to Ethereum. So like, let's go to Pudgy Penguin. So these ones show of like what it is in the US dollars. Okay, it does. Why the hell doesn't the Bitcoin one show that? Are they trying to trick people to say, hey guys, listen, you're not actually spending US dollars? That's nothing. It's like, nah. Because when you look at 25 ETH versus $83,000, listen, we just looked at those Red Wing tickets. Guys, that's like 4 or 5 seats at the Red Wings game for one Pudgy Penguin for a season. You want season tickets for the fam to Red Wings? Or do you want a Pudgy Penguin? Kind of hilarious. But, I mean, we look at that. So that's 83,000. If we go back to the homepage of Magic Eden, if we go over to Ape Chain, if we go to like the highest floor, we need to go the other way, 1.5K Ape. If we look on this is 2,000. So again, very way lower on that one. If we go over to Arbitrum, what's the top collection? I guess these are all in ETH, which I should have realized that going into it. But again, very small comparatively. Again, 1,500 compared to like the main collection on the mainnet of Ethereum. If we go over, I think this is say, top one is 445, say, and that is $172. So, I mean, these are kind of funny when you think of it. But I mean, for the top collection on Solana, this is the one that matters, right? Because this is the one that you're going to compare. The number 5.7 market cap is 6.5. I feel like this is a completely new thing. 34,000. So again, not even half of what a Pudgy Penguin is. But I mean, like Mad Lads is a more one, but it's like less than that. So again, 14,000. I mean, that Solana prediction is insane when you look at the current market state. Now, we love predictions just because, you know, somebody's putting their thoughts out there and it's something to react to. But I think that's a pretty bold call, saying the top 10 Solana NFTs are going to be worth more than the top 10 of other ones. But did you guys notice Bored Ape Yacht Club, it changed its bio to the best club on the internet? The verbiage is starting to change. We're not talking about crypto. We're not talking about NFTs. We're talking about the internet. And Young Algae, the man who plays Warzone, Fortnite, rocks out on the internet, the one and only, for 7 months. Thank you, sir. Hope you're doing all right. And so there's kind of a follow-up that we have to go when looking at this, because there's been a lot of announcements around, let me move this a little bit backwards, around some of the announcements where Futureverse, Altered State Machine, their AI components is kind of merging with what's going on seemingly with Yuga and a couple of other big players within the space. So Steve Bark, quoting Yuga, saying, huge news from Yuga Labs, saying this June, Other Side could become a persistent metaverse with the ODK, opening a new world of opportunities for builders. This shift would take it from event-based beta testing to a living, breathing playground. Now, I've been kind of negative around Other Side just because it does feel like, okay, it's fine that we're doing these like monthly activations, but it doesn't really feel like it's speeding up whatsoever. I don't know what I can do with all of this stuff. Okay, people have early access to build, but it just I don't know, it kind of feels like a little bit lackluster. But we have that positive news, and then I saw this post from J-Bon the other day, and this is before the announcement that we had yesterday with the Think protocol and Huanzi. What's going on, my Brumalachi? And I noticed within these graphics, it shows the Yuga world, right? Like this is the Yuga logo world, says Battle for the Clubhouse, the world's most insane teamfight shooter, new event released every month. Then it goes over to the Swamp, which is another Yuga world. The humble yet raucous home of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, koozies and croakies encouraged. What the hell does that mean? If that was offensive, I apologize. Yuga World, we have Metropolis. Poker is a game on the bold. Are you ready to take it all? Join us for the game night in Metropolis. And all of these things, I'm like, okay, these are these worlds. We're hearing from the Futureverse team that they're building out all these worlds that are going to connect to all of this stuff, and it just sounds like it's major. And so yesterday there was this announcement of 6079 was collaborating or merging with Altered State. And so this is the video of what the 6079 was before the announcement happened, for anybody that hasn't seen.
Protocol. Imagine a world where the power of artificial intelligence is not confined to the hands of a few, but accessible to all. Decentralized AI offers a monumental opportunity for Web3 to not only compete with centralized systems, but surpass them. However, such value attracts bad actors. The 6079 protocol acts as an immune system, an anti-fraud layer for independent AI, ensuring GPU networks are trustworthy and deliver genuine value. It functions like a sophisticated CAPTCHA for GPUs, verifying tasks and validating contributions. Here's how it works. GPUs are assigned AI tasks, other nodes monitor and validate their performance, excellence is rewarded, failure is penalized. By distributing workloads, it eliminates single points of failure, making it robust and reliable. More than a technical breakthrough, the 6079 protocol represents a movement toward a fairer, more accessible AI ecosystem. It empowers the many, ensuring AI development benefits everyone, and remains open, secure, and trustworthy. The 6079 protocol. Let's make independent AI the standard.
Okay, independent AI. We love talking about all these things, because when you show this to anybody that's like not in crypto at all or like passively aware, it doesn't really make sense off the first glance. But again, they're merging with Altered State from Futureverse, and now they've changed the whole branding to just being Think Agent. So think bigger. It's not just a challenge, it's an innovation. To go beyond the status quo and imagine how AI agents will shape the new internet. Again, rephrasing with the internet, connecting with the Yuga thing there. Interesting. Creating new experiences and environments at scale, let us introduce Think. what is Think? Think is a protocol designed to set a standard for interoperable metaverse-ready agents. And again, notice the word a standard. Intelligent entities that continuously evolve, learn, and create in the digital world. From ASTO token to Think. Build on the foundations of Futureverse, ASM's ASTO, and the Think agent protocol community, Think token is more than a token. It's the lifeblood of on-chain AI agents, providing resources like compute, patents, and skills to continuously evolve, co-create immersive environments. The core components, every AI agent consists of 3 key parts. The intelligence layer powered by the Murmur Matrix, enabling agents to learn and grow, which the Murmur Matrix, which we've seen, is like this world, they've showed a screenshot, okay? And it shows that like a character standing in the background, and it has a box around that character and says, this is a person. And then there's a bench. And then there's a box around that bench saying like, this is a bench. And then another person scenes, and it can kind of interpret what's happening where everything is labeled so this AI can learn off of it, which is kind of crazy. Body, authenticated by NFI tokens, it's the agent's customizable presence in the metaverse. And then a soul, a wallet authenticated soul token that connects agents to specialized apps for advanced capabilities. What makes Think unique, Think empowers agents to move freely across ecosystems, adapt to new contexts, gain and share skills, carry their intelligence across environments. The metaverse won't be built by closed platforms. It will thrive with user-owned AI agents. And again, there's this big focus on having it where it's more open, right? At the heart of Think lies the on-chain agents protocol, a decentralized standard for creating interoperable agents that include open source, decentralized, permissionless, interoperable, composable, yada, yada, yada. So why does this matter? The internet was built by humans. The new internet will be built by AI agents for humans, which is kind of wild to think about. Agents that think, create, adapt, and grow smarter with every interaction. This is the future of intelligence without limits. Be part of the open revolution. Learn more about Think and the future of AI-powered digital worlds. Why are they dropping another effing token? That is the question. Yo, Prompt, Prime, Colony, hell yeah. I'm curious if there is any kind of partnership, or if Jeremy and I are going to have to beef on what's the better AI protocol on there. But that is a good question, Mr. Pitch. I'm trying to bring up something right quick on like a reply for somebody, because it was a good question about why are they doing another token. One, a lot of people think, okay, the baggage of the previous token with the market, better charts, all that kind of stuff. But I think also because they're doing this entire merge, they're wanting to combine 2 companies to try to take over what's going on with that, the bigger is better notion. But let me jump through this post from Alex, and he said the differential is to wait. Oh, no, that's not it. That is not it. Here we go. Okay, so Helen asked, did that need to come from the holders, though? Diluting people who have held for years, etc. Isn't there a development fund? And the reason for this is because it was like announced that for one ASTO token, it was like 0.69 Think or something like that. Like there's a ratio where the ASTO supply is going for like 2.2 billion to 1 billion, something along those lines. And so this kind of answers the questions of why they're doing it this way. So the only way we could bring all the parties together was to agree on a protocol merger. Other options were discussed, such as using the remaining ASTO, but in the end, this didn't stack up for everyone and for what was needed to make the combined vision work. As this is a protocol merger, the baseline would be a 50-50 split. However, we have managed to lift this to 69% for the ASTO holders. To show our commitment to this Futureverse, converting our ASTO to Think at a lower rate than we are providing to the community. What everyone ends up with is a slightly smaller piece of a much larger pie. It's important to note that we haven't used this to raise new capital, only to ensure the original investors on Think are also included in the merged protocol economics. They too have taken dilution on this process as they are bullish on the combined outcome. While we understand the optics here, we are doing this to maximize overall value. And again, the optics, like the token literally dropped 50% after this announcement. We are not asking you to pay for anything. We are supercharging the ASM vision with the inclusion of heavy hitters from the space and broader adoption of the tools. As you know, we have not gotten our fair share of growth so far relative to our capabilities. This approach fixes that core problem. And yeah, Futureverse is awful at getting any sort of attention. I don't know if it's like having the right people, being able to spread the message, the delivery of certain things, which again, yesterday was supposed to be walking away with kind of a home run, and that did absolutely not happen. Seems like ASTO holders feel like diluted based on the posts I'm seeing. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's so weird. It's so weird because it feels generally like a good thing, right? If you know that people aren't paying attention to something that's kind of old, we have this notion of we had this notion before of people saying the new protocols, the new things that are happening, it's what's paying attention to. Everything that's happened before is like the Dino tokens. And then the market starts picking up. We saw Sandbox and all of the Dino tokens really start to take off. And then the narrative started changing of like, well, no, like some of this older stuff. But that, like, it goes on, right? Where we have so many different narratives, and we could probably sit down for 30 minutes and try to like map out. You know the meme when the guys like going on the board and like switching, like, oh yeah, we're looking at this and then combining this over here. There's so many different ways of like looking at this where we could try to put it positively, we could try to put it negatively, we could try to put it kind of as a 50-50 split. But I mean, if the vision's bigger, and that's seemingly what the team did. Aaron jumped in the Discord after. I saw your post this morning in Holders, and I thought a lot of them were really, really good. We're like, I mean, OpenSea was talking about like AI and like we're not really engaging with that, which again, like I kind of get, like, do you want to indulge in that on like the main accounts for optics? I mean, kind of, but also it's like cool that still like they're getting noticed, because as Alex highlighted a second ago, the biggest problem is like nobody's talking about this. And to Jeremy a second ago, who's talking about like Prime, Wayfinder, and Colony, I see that stuff all the time on my timeline. The sentiment around Wayfinder and Prompt and Prime is immaculate. The game's really good, and we don't really have that. So, I mean, if we can't beat them, join them, right? Is that the way we look? Yeah, it seems good to expand, etc. But I guess because of the reality of the math, the conversion, people felt they had to sell. So that was something that was confusing as well, because the question is, was this just like a whole bunch of like buy and sell orders that got triggered because there was a huge dump? Was it a single person? Was this a VC? Was this a whale? Was it really that many people that ended up turning bearish on that? Like in the whale chat, I put like a whole bunch of different thoughts, because I kind of walked away with it initially feeling like not positive about it, which I felt like this is big and it's good, and we have more people that we've never seen here listening to these things. But like the delivery of the spaces, and for anybody that wasn't there, they had these spaces with like Crypto Von Doom and a couple of other individuals that had like rather large followings. But for like the first 30 minutes, they were talking about alpha groups, how they made a whole bunch of money on some random call, and it had absolutely nothing to do with this huge announcement that we've been hyped up of like January 9th, think bigger. And we're like, what is going on? And I feel like it just like set the tone to get like screwed up. And then towards the end, they're like, oh, do we have more time to talk? And they're like, oh, like not really, we have another space. And then the space after that didn't really get into things. And I just thought like it needed to be organized a lot better than what it was. And I don't like the aspect of having the space where we're dropping major announcements that we have to then read through the documents while we're trying to pay attention, while we're also looking at how everybody's reacting on the timeline and within the Discord. It just felt like way over the top for myself. But am curious to see what ends up happening over all of that. Now, with that said, also we got some news from Open saying that they are having a community champions alpha that's coming up, and I am so confused about this, because it's called Open, and it's like ironic that like the introduction to it is closed. So they're working with these partners, and 3 players plus 1 community champion per project, and so it's 20 overall. They're going to be able to have like early access to Open. But my only problem with this is like, what the hell is 20 people going to do? Is this going to be like a live stream? And if the people selected can't play, they're going to introduce more people? Are they hoping that these are going to be like content creators of some sort? And when you look at it, I'm pretty sure it was like a Gleam campaign where you had to finish like 14 of the Futureverse quests, which I think there's only been like 16. And there's only like 251 that have done all of them. So I'm curious what, again, like that ratio breaks down to, and what the point is, right? Like, let's hypothetically say that I get in for like the Party Bear community, because I have a Party Bear, right? And I'm one of the people on there. Is that like I'm obliged to like go out there and stream there? Is this only going to be for content people? It doesn't seem like that's the case. So I'm very confused on what the hell like the strategy is behind this in particular. Now, with all that said, going on to something that has no roadmap, no website, no anything, the second rarity Goblin sold for 10 Ethereum. Holy smokes. Now, going to the website, this might give you guys a little bit of a throwback, but this is what it do. I mean, the fact that it has these things, like, was this a representation of the top sales? Was this a representation of the team? I have no idea. I feel like this Goblin got sold before, but the website looks kind of all cool, but I'm pretty sure that they don't have much that's going on here. Because again, like no roadmap, no anything, except for some funky soundtrack after all. Justin, 56% of financial advisors surveyed by Bitwise are more likely to invest in crypto this year due to Trump's victory. Very interesting that we're having, again, more and more positive sentiment around everything crypto. This project was lit. They did a good job doing entertaining spaces. Dude, I'm surprised at how high the floor price of goblins got way back in the day. Because I remember at NFT NYC, they hired some actors to do like a goblin impersonation outside like a burger truck. And so that and the spaces are really the only thing that I really remember about Goblin Town, but it's cool to see that they're catching bids. People really just want to have fun. This is where the goblin snapped. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think ultimately when you cultivate something that's positive, right? And we've seen in various communities, if you have kind of a cluster of people that are, let's call it like gaming together or being positive or having similar interests, that is something that cultivates awesomeness. But the problem is for a lot of these NFT collections, if you've bought into a community that's involved in a game, if the game's not out yet, well, okay, you don't really have anything to connect to. If the game isn't really that engaging or needing to do anything, you don't really have anything to connect to. And then you have to look at outside of the realm, right? So I could say, hey, I play certain video games and a couple people might be into that. But the majority of people, which I found out through, the other side with Yuga, like half the apes that are involved with that or doing that metaverse stuff, none of them, well, sorry, I shouldn't say none, but a lot of them didn't game. And I was really taken aback from that because, somebody who's, perpetually online, I really, really thought it was going to be a higher number, but that just like simply wasn't the case. Okay. So, when we talked about the Red Wings a little bit earlier, so imagine if I spent $60 on gas to drive down to Ottawa, $200 on tickets to see the Senators play. If I spent, let's just throw in another $50 to buy a t-shirt, another $20 for a souvenir, we're looking at around, just over $300. Or I could buy crypto. So do I want to go to a game that they get completely blown out on, that I have to spend several hours, or do I want to stay at home and do what we love here? Yeah, listen, that's an easy answer. That's an easy answer. Now, speaking of buying what you love, I don't have this kind of money, but oh my goodness, imagine if we do a first edition Charizard PSA 10. PSA 10 just sold for $220,000, which I would like to highlight. That's 317,000 Canadian. That's how bad the Canadian dollar has fallen. True. It tokenized on Polygon. So this is from Courtyard, but kind of crazy sale going on there. Again, we're seeing more and more digital collectibles. Now, if you like Courtyard and just the idea of digital collectibles overall, I do the RWA segments podcast. So if you are on YouTube, if you check out the link in the description below or on my bio on X, would love for you guys to check that out. And there is actually Courtyard cards available to purchase on that platform, which is really, really awesome. It sounds like you're a casual fan. Cotton 4K, tough. That's actually a good deal compared to what a joke Paul spent. He spent way more than that, didn't he? You're actually right. Courtyard is RWA though. Yes, they do cards. What do you mean, Pitch? Oh, sorry, they're partnered with like the Segment platform officially on that. And then there was a space this morning where Segment's going on Abstract. So very, very keen to see how all of that works out. Now, but speaking on the Pokemon side of things, this is some history and where we can, you take the narrative of when somebody posts and say, you could have bought Bitcoin at $1, you could have bought apes at like, 250, you could have bought, pudgy penguins when they were $1,000, but you didn't. Well, back in 1999, you could have bought a complete set of Pokemon cards for $500, and nowadays they would be $650,000. Unbelievable. So it's not really a digital collectible. Well, it is because you're able to trade that digital collectible to be able to redeem a physical. Sure. But kind of crazy to see what the prices of things are. But again, you have to remember that if you send something into PSA, like it costs more. I know that's like $25 a card, but if the card's really expensive, I think it's more, which is just unbelievable to think about in general. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? KEKW says this, and this is, I feel like it's kind of obvious. Like when I read this, I was like, I don't know if this is like a troll post, but I think they're being serious because it just seems like, yeah, of course it is, brah. Coming around to the idea that IP will move on-chain. True. IP is valuable, but current IP owners are getting crushed. Moving on-chain could create programmable licensing, which we've seen with Overpass and Pudgy Penguins, better revenue distributions, real-time, automated, etc. 100%. Easier collabs between creators. Yep, you just say hell yeah, and you click a check mark button. Global system instead of jurisdictional system, and financialize the IP. That's not to mention what it would do for AI, let AI agents collaborate on IP, integrate AI agents into creative process, and train models on the IP. So what I'm hearing is we need to come up with a brilliant IP. Okay, so everybody in the chat, we're coming up with a brilliant IP. And as soon as this AI agent stuff takes off and we find the right agents, we don't have to do anything. We just have to let the AI and the IP that we collectively created pop off, and we're set for life. True. I'm not deep enough into the AI world to know if that actually makes sense, but it feels inevitable that AI needs to train on IP for more data. And so this is kind of a question where, if you guys have seen the meme generator for Futureverse with like Cool Cats, is they have two different styles of filters. And with that, it's something that they have very, very different tones. They're very, very different tones. So I'm trying to bring up two different things here uber quickly. And that is one. And this is two. This is two. Come on, load. Drew. Okay, so going back. So when we look at these IPs, right? Ain't no tall, you're that dude. I have like the chair literally like all the way up. You have no idea. I like when you push your glasses up. Yeah, thank you. Keck W. Okay, let me go. Let me go back to this. Okay, so on the idea of like the IP being used by the AI agents to mold something, right? So this is the Cool Cat filter on it, where the Cool Cat's more of a cartoon style, right? And that's, I'm just trying to look at the cartoon style. And this is the duck song. We posted this a little bit earlier with the got any grapes? Bum, bum, bum. All right. And then this is the fluff one, which is like a lot more realistic. Like we're talking a way more realistic feel. But how do you build off of that? Because then, like, when we type in the fluff filter, right, we'll be like, okay, well, how could we get this style, right, but done in like a cartoon way, where you would say, okay, like, I want these characters, but done in the Cool Cat IP kind of way, right? And that's where all of the stuff really comes in. And I'm curious how exactly that flushes out overall. Very, 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 very curious. Okay, one final thing that I wanted to mention, because I'm a Fisherton, true, you know? True. So why does your About Me Twitch say you're 5'7"? Because I wear tall shoes. I'm 5'6", but if I wear my tall shoes, 5'7". I have like a pair of KDs. Okay, so this was a post that was in the Featureverse Discord from this R. Moore individual, and it was really, really interesting. And you might not have seen this, and I'm just going to kind of leave it with this because there was a lot of confusion around the partnership with the 6079, Altered State, yada, yada. And I thought this was really well because this person obviously has been paying attention. So I posted this over in the general chat, but I figured I'd put it here. Familiar with both projects, but let me tell you more about 6079. 6079 merged with the Wire network in fall of this past year. The Wire protocol, the first true no-gas blockchain that allows you to interact with the different blockchains without the need for bridging. It was specifically built to support an AI agent economy where agents can transact on their own across different blockchains. They also have a no gas DEX coming called No Gas, which again, imagine giving AI agents your Ethereum to trade with and then they just blow it all on gas in 2 transactions. Holy smokes, I'd run through a wall. The founder of Wire has been building this out for 4 years and claims that this tech is so intricate that they have basically built a moat around this technology, but it's not the exact words. This is a good video. This is bleeding edge stuff. Mike and the team at 6079 obviously saw the same brilliance and ahead of the curve tech with ASM and Featureverse. The patents and tech built over here the past several years is insane. I'm extremely excited. They didn't discuss a lot of the stuff on yesterday's call, but stick around. I think this will play out extremely well for all parties involved. So again, just highlighting that for anybody that feels a little bit unsure. I think that there has been a lot of emotions over the last week. Market's been kind of crazy, but again, just trying to look at all this stuff. Wow, hold on, what the hell? I just opened X, and it looks like Paul Barron's got Shen on to talk about Zertmon and the Think AI agents. Very much enjoy Paul Barron stuff, so cool to see that Shen's getting on there. But next week, just to kind of give a little bit of a shill, I have so many friggin' interviews booked that we've also had to change because I had like 4 set up around the Altered State and 6079 merger that I had to redo all of them. I was like, hey guys, sorry, the space is on. This is probably a bad time. So next week we have a whole bunch of different interviews for people that are building on the Root network. I will try to upload them on the same day if I can. But I think right now, earlier in the week, we have like 2 per day. So expect those to be coming out. And I hope you guys really enjoy that content. If you missed any of that stuff, be sure to check out just the video feed on YouTube or scroll a little bit on my X page. Yeah, I don't really know if I have anything else to say except Hoonsy's the GOAT. Pitch hates me, but I love him. Jeremy's the best prime and wait, no, hold on. The best parallel end vibes player there ever was, is, and has been. So if you guys are watching on Twitch, be sure to go click on his name and check out his profile. We got Young Algae in here. Listen, the one and only FPS shooter king. That, listen, if you come out on open, he's going to be top of the leaderboard. True. Hoonsy's the GOAT. I think we've already gone over that. Stately, the only guy that I know that can play Swain pretty well. True. And Buffalo Space as a Buffalo soldier. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of Bob Marley. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you soon. Peace.